Hey guys, good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Good
sir.
evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, apologies, guys. Actually, router is rebooted. Apologies, please don't mind. Yeah, so yesterday we started next generation firewall. So in that next generation firewall, we discussed about firewall features. Then we discussed about how to purchase firewall. So that is nothing but licensing basically. So that licensing is depending on several parameters. And also we discussed about firewall deployment. And also we discussed about what are the different types of firewalls every organization will maintain. Then we discussed about firewall zones. From there we will continue and we will discuss about couple of other features also. Or otherwise NAT. Full form is network address translation. This entire question, guys. So whenever you are going for firewall, so they will ask this is the entire question. What is network address translation? Okay. So what is meant by network address translation? Our internal IP or private IP we will map to public IP because we should not expose to our private IPs to the public or maybe external attackers. So always we have to keep our internal IPs to the secret to organization level. We have to hide our internal IPs. Okay. So if you are mapping our private IPs directly to the or exposing directly to the public, in that scenario, what will happen? Attacker can compromise and they will do port scanning mechanisms and they'll compromise our systems easily. So that is the reason what we have to do. Whatever our internal IPs are there, our private IPs are there, we have to map those one to public IPs. Okay. So that is called NATing basically, mapping of our private IPs to the public IP. Okay. So that is called NATing. Mapping internal or private IPs to public IP. So that is called NATing. So there are three different types of NATing we can do. Okay. So when you say mapping here, maybe so every firewall has different types of interfaces. Example, interface 1, interface 2, interface 3, interface 4, interface 5, and so on. Up to maybe interface 16 or maybe 12 or maybe 32 or maybe 48 and so on. Similar to like a switch. So switch also has, it contains 12 port switch, 24 port switch, 48 port switch, 36 port switch and so on. In the same as it is, even our firewall also has so 12 ports or maybe 24 ports or maybe 32 ports or maybe 48 ports and so on. Okay. So our internal IPs or our internal interfaces, we have to always map to the WAN interface or internet interface. So that mapping basically we can do in three ways. So those three different types of NATings are, one is static NAT, types of NATing. One is static NAT. Second one is dynamic NAT. Third one is port NAT. So static NAT, dynamic NAT, and port NAT. So static meaning here, our internal interfaces or private IP interfaces, whatever we are configuring, it will be fixed and it will not change. It's similar to like a static IP. So static IP means fixed IP. So one dedicated IP interface of the private internal IP has to map to the public interface or WAN interface is called static. I'm repeating once again, our dedicated internal IP or maybe internal interface IP, if are mapping to the so public IP, that is called static IP. Dedicated single IP, single internal IP, single internal private IP map to public IP. So that's called static. So example maybe if you want to see practical example 10.10.10.1. This is one of the interface we are configured. So like a interface 1. This one we are configuring our business or public IPs. Every organization, it will maintain two different types of IPs. One is business IPs for business purpose. It's like a public IP. Second one is private IPs. 10 series, 172.16 series, and 192.168 series. So these three series are private IPs. You know already. So this one, if you're remaining example 1.1.1.1, it's our business IP. So that is called static IP. It will not change that particular IP address. Dedicated will use same IP. So that is called static. So dynamic IP. So here multiple IPs, multiple internal private IPs are mapped to public IP. Okay. Multiple private IP interfaces are mapped to public IP. Meaning here example may be 10.10.10.1 to 10.10.10.10. That means overall 10. 10.10.10.1 to 10.10.10.10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 10. So all those IPs, if you are configuring to one of the business IP or one of the public IP or one of the NATed IP, example 1.1.1.1. So that is called dynamic IP. So within this range IPs only, it will map to this particular IP, pool of the IP address, similar to like a DHCP server. Similar to like a DHCP server, dynamic IP means. Okay. So in this particular range of the IP address, if you are mapping to the dedicated business IP or internet IP or public IP, then we can call dynamic IP. So that is about dynamic NAT. Third one is port NAT. So it's combination of static NAT plus dynamic NAT. Additionally, we have to define the port number as well. So meaning here, example, so we are specifying this particular, okay, so IP address. So then in that scenario, source port. So source port example may be 443 and destination IP is 1.1.1.1 and destination IP also 443. So along with the IP address, if you are specifying the port number, then that is called port NAT. Okay. Along with IP address, along with private internal IP, if you are mapping port number to public IP and also port. Okay, so meaning here, so along with source IP or private IP or internal interface IP, along with that one, so we are mapping to the public IP and also the public IP also we have to map to the port number. In that scenario, that one we can call port NAT. So these are all the three different types of NATs. Most of the cases will use static NAT as compared to dynamic NAT and port NAT will use static NAT. So this one I will show you practically. I will show you practically how to do and what to do in the firewall policies. Yeah, firewall policies are rules. Firewall policies are rules. Okay. So that is about NATing part. Next one is security profiles. Security profile. Security profiles are very, very important to the organization level. Without security profile, firewall will act as a dummy device. If you don't configure the security profile, so firewall not at all block anything. So that may be signature-based detection mechanism, that may be machine learning mechanism as well. So security profiles, I can say heart of the firewall. Security profiles and also, okay, firewall policies. It's the heart of the firewall. So without security profiles, without policies, firewall, it's like a dummy device. It will not block anything. First, we have to configure security profiles. After configuring the security profiles, what we have to do, those security profiles we have to enable in the policies. If I want to show practically that one, so just open the FortiGate demo. So demo, click on login button. So these are only there are several different types of tabs we have. First two tabs are belongs to dashboards. It will provide overall security posture of the organization. Remaining up to system. So these will provide the implementation level. Okay, network to till system or security fabric, it will represent the overall implementation level. Log and report will represent the monitoring part. I'm repeating once again. So status dashboard and also dashboard. So these two will represent overall security posture of the organization. What are the different type threats are going on? So what are the different type traffic it's enabled? And what is the bandwidth utilization of the applications? And what are the different types of source IP along with the destination IPs? And also source IP address wise bandwidth utilization, destination IP address wise bandwidth utilization. There are different types of dashboards we will configure. So first two will represent the dashboards. It will happening what's happening all over the organization. Next, from network to till system, all these are for implementation level. All these are for implementation level. Log and report is dedicated to monitoring purpose. So this is the way how we can do the segregation part. Okay. So coming back here, security profiles. So first we have to configure these security profiles like antivirus, web filter, video filter, DNS filter, app control, IPS, file filter, okay, voice over IP, web application firewall or WAF, SLSS inspection. So IPS, all these are completely security profiles. After configuring all these security profiles, now what we have to do, these security profiles, we have to enable in the policies. So that is what I'm saying theoretically and also practically. So first we have to configure the security profiles. After configuring these security profiles, so now we have to go and we have to implement in the firewall policies. So these two tabs are very, very important. So where we are enabling those security profiles under policy or rule, you can see here. So security profile. So under the security profile, whatever security profiles we configured in the policies or rules we have to enable. If you don't enable these security profiles, obviously firewall will not block anything. So that may be blocking or maybe allowing or maybe alerting or maybe monitoring or maybe generating the instant notifications and so on. Okay, so that is my security profiles. So what are the different types of security profiles we have to configure? So I'll provide in generic way, not only dedicated to Fortinet firewall, even I will keep in mind Palo Alto firewall and also Cisco firewall and Juniper firewall and also Sonic wall, WatchGuard, CyberRoam and so on. Okay, so these are all the different types of security profiles we have to configure. So what are the different types of security profiles we'll configure? One is antivirus AV. Second one is URL filtering. So third one is DNS filtering. Fourth one is file filtering or file blocking. Next one, just now we have seen proxy. Next one is voice over IP. Next one is Wi-Fi. Next one is app control. SSL, SSH inspection. Next one is IPS and IDS. Next one is web application firewall, WAF. Next one is video filter. Even video limit also we can define. So whenever any end user is trying to access large amount of the data of the file, maybe downloading or watching the YouTube video or maybe IBM or whatever it may be. So we can limit that particular activity also. Whoever is watching more than 1 gigabytes of the file, automatically it has to block. Whoever is watching the videos of 500 MB, we have to allow. In such a we can do video filter as well. Okay, so these are all the couple of profiles we have to configure. After configuring these profiles, where we have to enable in the policies. Okay, so by default, every vendor will provide default profile. By default, every vendor, not only FortiGate firewall, even other vendors also, they will provide default profile. If you want, you can use default profile. Otherwise, you can do the customization as well. Okay, let's go and see example. One of the profile I will show you, antivirus example. So you can see here default. Default meaning here at the time of purchasing of the firewall. So whatever profile it is coming in box by default. So that is called default profile. So remaining three, antivirus monitor, FNDR, and Wi-Fi default. So this one they configured as a customization. Okay, customization. So whatever inbuilt features it is coming, that is called as a default. And whatever we are doing based on our business requirement, that is called customization. Customization. Okay. So maybe if I want to say in practical day-to-day life, maybe you purchased one of the cloth. So by default, ready-made cloth you purchased. So that's like a default one. Unfortunately, that may be it is loose to you, it is not comfortable to you, it is not fitting to your body, and so on. Then you will do alteration. So whatever alteration you are doing, that is called customization part based on our requirement of the fitting into body. Same way here also. So default, whatever profiles we are inbuilt by default, it is coming, those called default profiles at the time of purchasing of the box or firewall. If you want to do any customization, that is called customized based on our business requirement. Okay. So example default, okay, this one will come as a by default. So remaining three, they configured as a customization part. So that is by default as well as customization. Okay. So this is about security profiles. After configuring these security profiles, then we have to enable these security profiles in the firewall policies or rules. So once those rules you are configuring based on a business requirement, once again, according to that one, it will block it automatically. Okay. So how we can define this one? First, we have to create security profiles, and later we have to enable security profiles in the policies tab or rules tab. Policies also called as rules. Okay. So that is about security profiles. Next one is firewall policies. Firewall policies or firewall rules. Firewall policies or firewall rules. So firewall policies basically it will follow top-down approach. Firewall policies validation, it will follow top-down approach or top-to-bottom approach. So what is it by top-down or top-to-bottom? Please remember this one. So once again, I will go back to our tool. So I will enter username and password. Then click on read only. So this is policies and objects tab. So firewall policies. So this firewall policy validation, it will follow top to bottom or top down approach. So what is mean by top to bottom or top down approach? Whenever any packet is entering either as inbound traffic or outbound traffic, that means, example, maybe one of the end user is trying to access one of the website. So trusted zone of the end user or employee of the organization, they are trying to access one of the untrusted or public or internet or external public website of google.com, like a facebook.com or twitter.com or instagram.com or google.com and so on. So obviously trusted means our internal employees, they will sit, and untrusted means it's a public related websites or applications and so on. That is one of the scenario. In that scenario, once the end user is trying to access any website or application, so the traffic will go as outbound traffic. So what are policy we configured in the firewalls? So every policy like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on, like a firewall rule ID. Every rule has, or every policy has an ID number. So first policy has a first rule ID, second rule has a second rule ID, third rule, and so on. So that is about rule or policies, ID numbers. Whatever rule we are doing or configuring, it will follow top-down approach. As I said just now, example, one of the end user is accessing facebook.com. So it will go and it validate one by one rule. So in the first rule, whether Facebook related rule is available. If it is not there, then it will go and validate second rule. If it is not available in the second rule, it will go and it will validate in third rule. If it is not available in the third rule, it will go and it will validate in fourth rule. So that is called top to bottom or top down approach. Okay. So each and every rule it will validate. Whenever it meets the criteria or whenever it meets the condition, there it will stop. That is one of the practical example. One more example I will give. Maybe one of the end user is sending an email from internal to external. Okay, so example, one of the Wipro employee is sending an email to external. In that scenario, that mail will go from trust zone to untrust zone. Okay, so whatever email related policy we configured here, it will go and it will validate where is the exactly email related policy it is existing, whether first rule or second rule or third rule or fourth rule or fifth rule and so on. So whenever email related policy it is matching, automatically it will stop it there and it will send an email to the external world. That is one of the scenario. One more scenario, I will give example. So one of the external end user or public, they are trying to access our internal website. Example, take now this example only. So we are a part of Wipro company. One of the end user, not end user, one of the public person or student or experienced person, he wants to apply job in Wipro. In that scenario, what will happen? So he's sitting outside of the Wipro. That may be nothing but public. So he's trying to access wipro.com/careers. So obviously, so here is not part of, first of all, Wipro company. Obviously, is a public person. So nothing but untrust to trust now. So where wipro.com is hosted, obviously wipro.com is hosted in the trust zone on top of the web server or app server. Trust zone. So where wipro.com/careers is hosted, trust zone of the Wipro company, basically, right? So where that application is hosted on top of the web server or app server. So applications we can deploy in the either web server or maybe app server, application server. So meaning here, untrusted public person is trying to apply any job in wipro.com. So in this scenario, untrust to trust the traffic will go. So untrust to trust, and then he will go and he will access the respective wipro.com/careers. Then he will apply the job. So this is also possible, right? There are different ways basically. So based on the policies configured, whatever policy it is matching, it will stop that particular condition or criteria. Then it will stop the packet validation. So that is called top-down approach. Top-down approach. Okay. By default, whenever you are purchasing any firewall, so one of the default profile it will be configured or default rule it will be configured, that is called implicitly deny. So basically this implicitly deny, you can see in my screen, implicitly deny, one of the rule is there. This is the last rule. Why we are putting this one is the last rule? Implicitly deny meaning here, whatever traffic is coming other than above policies, everything it has to be blocked it. By default, whenever we are purchasing a firewall, so first dedicated or default rule will be configured by the respective vendors or tools. Okay, so that tool name is that rule name is called implicitly deny. So whatever north south, east, west. So basically in the organization level, inbound traffic plus outbound traffic, that net flow data, we can call it as a north-south traffic plus east-west traffic, meaning here entire traffic of the organization. So at the time of purchasing of the firewall, only one rule will be there. That rule is called implicitly deny. Nothing but every traffic it has to block. So based on our business requirement, we have to create our own policies or rules. After configuring the rules, just this implicitly deny rule, it will be there in the top. Just you can drag and drop down, that's it. First, we have to create our customization rules or policies. After that, what are implicitly deny rule by default is there. Just we can move from top to bottom, that's all. So meaning here, so example maybe, so right now 20 rules are configured. 21 rule should be must be, implicitly deny. 20 rules related to our business point of view. 21 rule other than 20 rules, business traffic, anything is entering into the organization, it has to block. So that is mean by implicitly deny. So implicitly deny is a default rule at the time purchasing of the tool. This rule will be then on top of the rules or policies tab. After configuring our customization policies or rules, we have to move that particular rule to completely down. Okay, so that is related to implicitly deny. Implicitly deny meaning here, other than whatever rules are entering, everything it has to drop out. Packet has to drop out or packet has to be blocked. Okay, so that is about overall policies and also implicitly deny. So how we can configure, so or how we can define this one, firewall policies validation will happen or will follow, not happen, will follow top to bottom approach or top down approach. Top to bottom or top down approach. Okay. So by default, when we purchased firewall tool, default rule will be come as a implicitly deny. Nothing but all the traffic can be blocked. So now we can do couple of policies creation, how to create a policy. So I will give generic example. I'm not following either Fortinet firewall. I'm not following either Palo Alto, or maybe I'm not following either Cisco or Juniper or SonicWall or WatchGuard and so on. If you are following Fortinet side, so name of the firewall or name of the policies or name of the policies or rule from zone to zone, source user, destination user. Okay. Next one, schedule, service, action, NAT, security profile, and also bandwidth or log. Okay, so that is the Fortinet firewall. Whatever right now I will create a policy, it's a generic way how to create a policy or role. Okay, so first one is role ID. Next one is role name. Next one, source zone. Please remember now. So network architecture diagram in your mind. I'll ask a couple of questions now. Destination zone. Next one, source user. Next one, destination user. Next one is port number. Next one is protocol, security profile, action, and log. So this is generic profile how to configure a firewall policy. So rule ID, I'll keep it here. So I'll create one more thing, that is application as well. Okay. Now we'll create couple of policies based on business requirement. So consider, so once you're purchasing, So by default, what did I say? Rule number 1 will come. So that rule name, what is by default rule name? Anyone? By default rule name?
Implicit
By default
deny.
rule name? Yes, that's correct. Implicit deny. So this is the way how the, okay, so rule will come, and any here always any, everything is any only. Any, and what is the action? What did I say action? What did I say action? Implicitly deny. What is my action here?
Deny, sir.
All
Yeah,
traffic.
deny or block. Yeah, deny or block. So this is the way how by default it will come. Once you purchased any firewall, first rule will be this one. Any traffic is entering either north, south, or east, west. This is the rule will come. That is what I mean theoretical. What did I say just now? So now what we have to do? So if I'm putting this one as a top rule, obviously all the traffic will be blocked. That is the reason. So this rule we have to move to down completely. First, we have to create our business related rules based on our business requirement. So whatever rule is there, this one we have to put completely lost. Okay. So first, we have to create our customized rules. Now we can go and we can create couple of rules. Example, maybe we want to block BitTorrent application. BitTorrent is one of the video downloader. So what is the advantage of BitTorrent? Even though you are putting, maybe example, you put one of the download of the movie. Maybe example, you can put example, consider maybe KGF movie you put download in the BitTorrent. Even the power it went off, or even your internet is not working, it will pass. Okay, maybe out of 100 MB file, maybe 50 MB is completely downloaded, remaining 50 MB is pending. Okay, so if you're using BitTorrent, then what will happen? It will not corrupt the file. Water 50 MB is downloaded. It will pass to that particular time whenever any power outage happen, or power has gone, or maybe even internet is not working by default. I mean, maybe internet is not working due to some technical issues or network issues. Once power will come back, or maybe even internet is working come back, then BitTorrent will start wherever it passed. It will resume from that particular like a 51 MB, 52 MB, and so on. Once again, it will not come like a 1 MB, 2 MB, and so on. So that is the advantage of BitTorrent. So most of the organizations, they will block this BitTorrent application. Why? Because end users, they will download so many movies. That is the reason they will block this BitTorrent application. Okay. So now we want to block BitTorrent to every employee in the organization level. Where BitTorrent is sitting in the organization? Where BitTorrent is sitting in the organization? Where BitTorrent is available in the organization as per network architecture diagram? Where BitTorrent application is available in the network architecture diagram?
Trust zone.
Trust zone, are you sure? Is it internal application for every organization, BitTorrent? BitTorrent, it's a completely public application, everybody can access. Public application, where public application is available as per network architecture diagram.
External.
Okay,
Untrust.
otherwise I'll ask in different way. Where Google is available, where Facebook is available,
Internet,
which zone it is
external.
available? External or untrust, or internet or public zone. As per network architecture diagram, so this is network architecture diagram. So BitTorrent, Google.com, Facebook.com, okay, Twitter.com, Instagram.com. Do you think that it is available here in trust zone? Whether your application, Facebook, whether my application. So this is trust. So untrust application. So nothing but public application. So Google, public, BitTorrent. So maybe you did not hear about BitTorrent. That's why you got confusion maybe. So it is available here. So public or external or untrust or internet. Now what I'm trying to say here. So this is maybe example, consider TCS organization. For all the TCS employees, nothing but all the end users of the employees of the TCS company, we want to block BitTorrent sitting in the here. So meaning here end users are sitting in which zone? Venues are sitting in which zone?
Trust zone.
Venues
Trust
trust
zone.
zone. What about BitTorrent is sitting in which zone?
Public zone.
Public
Untrust zone.
Untrust zone.
Untrust zone.
Untrust zone. For every employee, we have to block. This is the condition I'm giving clearly. What is the policy name we are creating? Blocking of BitTorrent to every employee. Please remember this one now. Now we are going back to the firewall policy. So rule ID is one example. What is the rule name? What is the rule name? Just now I said. What is the rule name?
Blocking BitTorrent.
Blocking of BitTorrent.
Yeah.
Yes. What is source zone? What is source zone? What is source zone here? As per this one. What is the requirement we are? What is business requirement? What is business requirement? Every employee, we have to block BitTorrent. What is source zone?
Trust zone.
Trust zone.
Trust zone. Yeah, employees are sitting here. TCS employees are sitting in this zone, not here. Okay. So example, this TCS network architecture diagram you can consider. So TCS employees are sitting here. So nothing but it's a trust zone. So source zone is trust. What about destination zone? Destination.
Untrust zone.
Untrust zone. What about source user? What is source user?
internal employee.
Any user for every employee. That's what I said. Every employee we have to block. Every employee we have to block. So I will put any here. So destination user. Whether any user is available in the
Any.
destination level. Any
Any.
are not applicable. Any are not applicable. Next one is port number. So BitTorrent is running on which port? I'll open BitTorrent otherwise. So it's blocked in my organization, basically this one. Most of the organizations they will block. Why? Because every employee they will try to block all these. So what is the port number BitTorrent? You can see lock symbol. What is
443.
bit number? 443. Yes. Connection is secure means 443. Even my organization also it's blocked. Protocol. Through which protocol it is running on? 443.
HTTPS.
HTTPS. What is the application name?
BitTorrent.
What is the application name? Yeah, BitTorrent. Security profile. So which security profiles we have to enable? So security, what are the different types of profiles will configure all these? So whether we have to enable all these profiles in the respective security profile of the, okay, so BitTorrent blocking application. So these many security profiles we are so configuring. So whether we have to enable all those in the blocking of BitTorrent application. Which one we have to enable? Which one we have to enable? Anyone? So out of these one,
WA.
which out of these one, which one we have to enable or which one we have to block or whether we have to enable or not? What is the answer? These many are there example. So which one we have to enable? App control. There someone said app control. Okay, application because it's application control. Okay,
Yes.
any other?
DNS.
DNS. Okay, DNS filtering. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
SSL.
Only these two. URL filtering.
Web application firewall.
Web application firewall. Okay. WAF. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So you said like, okay, we have to enable DNS, we have to enable URL, we have to enable WAF, and also we have to enable app control. So these four we have to enable. So already we are configuring there. So we have to enable this one. First of all, we are blocking the application itself. What is the reason to enable all these? We are blocking the application itself. Whenever any user is trying to Google it and clicking on the application itself, it is blocking. whether he is trying to download any malwares or whether he is trying to download any SQL injection cross-site scripting type of the attacks. Application itself we are blocking. Then what is the reason behind we have to enable app control or URL filter or web application firewall or web DNS filter? Application URL itself we are blocking. Application itself we are blocking. So whether I'm going to download any movie from this particular BitTorrent, no, right? Are you getting what I'm saying? So here application itself we are blocking. So using application, how I will download the files first of all. So how malwares will enter into organization level, how cross-site scripting or SQL injection attack or OS top 10 category of the attacks will enter into organization level. So this application itself, entire application we are blocking. Maybe example. So if I'm opening maybe example twitter.com. So we are enabling this one, maybe example for suppose. In this scenario, maybe, so we are enabling this one. That is the reason. That is the reason. So once you are uploading the video or downloading the video or uploading the reel or downloading the reel and so on. So maybe those videos or audios files or maybe photos, whatever you are uploading, maybe those files have some of the malwares. For allowing maybe so uploading and downloading is possible. Entire application we are blocking. So that is the reason. Please remember, whenever any blocking related websites or blocking related profiles or blocking related policies we are configuring, there is no need to enable security profiles. Okay. If in this example BitTorrent we are enabling, yes, you are right. Whatever you said, yes. So example, you are allowing BitTorrent in that scenario, whatever you have said, right. WAF we have to enable, app control we have to enable, antivirus we have to enable, URL filter we have to enable, DNS filter we have to enable. So we are blocking the application itself. So it is not applicable basically. Is it clear or not? Is it clear or not?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So log, there is no need to configure anything. So whenever any traffic it is entering, so bandwidth utilization automatic it will take because action. So we no need to configure anything related to so log. Just you can leave it. So that is about how to block. So example, now I'll ask one of the question. One of the phishing email is coming from 1.1.1.1 to the one of the internal employee 10.10.10.1. Please understand this scenario. I'm repeating this once again. One of the phishing email attack is coming from phishing attacker. So that attacker IP address is 1.1.1.1 to one of the internal employee. So 10.10.10.1. Okay. So now after doing the instant investigation, what will you do? After doing overall instant investigation, you concluded it's a phishing email. What will you do after that? What will you do after that? As a mitigation. I'm repeating once again. One of the phishing email attacker has sent a phishing email. Okay. So from 1.1.1, it's an attacker IP address to one of the internal employee. You concluded after doing the instant investigation, domain validation, IP address validation, header analyzer. Okay. All these validations you completed. Finally, you concluded that it's a phishing email. So later, what will you do? You'll block this IP address or not? You'll block this IP address or not? In future, you don't want to repeat once again. Will you block the IP
Yes,
address
sir.
or
We'll
not?
block. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll block this IP address. Now you can tell me. So blocking of phishing email. So take this scenario. Take this scenario. Now you can tell me how to block that IP address. So what is the rule name?
Phishing email.
What is the rule name?
Email.
Yeah,
email.
blocking of phishing email. Yeah,
Yes.
blocking of phishing email, IP address.
Source zone trust.
Source zone. Source zone.
Trust.
Trust. Are you sure? Who is
Untrust.
the source here? Who is the source? First
Phishing.
of all, who is the
Phishing email.
phishing email? Phishing email, who is doing? Whether internal user is doing or external
Trust.
attacker is doing?
External.
untrust.
External. Untrust June.
Yeah, untrust. Okay, what about destination zone?
Trust.
June.
Trust also.
Yeah, trust zone. Source user, whether
Any.
you know attacker IP, whether you know
Any,
about
any.
attacker IP
Any,
address.
sir.
Any
1.1.1.
source IP is 1.1.1.1. Source user, we don't know what is the attacker name. Destination user.
Internal.
So internal is example, maybe Suresh you can consider.
Yes.
So I'll put here one more 2 columns I will add. Source IP, destination IP also. Source IP,
Destination.
destination IP. This I forgot. Yeah, now source IP. What is source IP?
1.1.1.1.
1.1.1.1. Destination IP.
10.10.10.1.
So
So-
only what about future? What about future? Now you are blocking only for 10.10.10.1. But don't you think about future? Maybe okay, now you are blocking 10.10.10. Only here. Maybe attacker in future, maybe will sending phishing email to. So phishing email to 10.10.10.2. Once again, will you do phishing email investigation? Will you block every time?
No, sir. Any destination.
Yeah, perfect. Any. That is the way you have to think logically, guys.
Any.
So sorry, not here. So here any, this is previous one. Yeah, here source IP 1.1.1.1. Destination IP is
Any.
any. Yeah, what is port number?
25.
25.
25. Yes, perfect. Why 25?
Simple mail
Email.
transfer protocol. Yes, sir.
Yes, correct. That's right. What is protocol?
SMTP.
Empty.
SMTP. Perfect.
SMTP.
Application.
Phishing.
Phishing.
Phishing email.
Email.
Phishing
Email
email.
server.
Yeah,
Email server.
email server.
Yeah. Security profile. What the action here? What the action? Block or
Blocking.
allow? Blocking. Yeah. Then security profile, what we have to define?
Not applicable.
Not applicable. So this is the thing. This is what in future password spray attack, okay, phishing email attack, and also brute force attack, SQL injection attack. So DOS attack, DDoS attacks. Now you can go and you can verify all these different types of category of the attacks. External attacker, whenever any attack is trying to do using IP address, which tool we have to use to block? Firewall. Firewall will block IP address, firewall will block URLs, firewall will block domain names, and so on. So this is what some of the practical scenarios like a brute force attack or dictionary attack or password spray attack or VPN authentication failure category of the attacks, phishing email attack, DOS attack, DDoS attack. Okay. So all these different types of category of the attacks, after doing the instant investigation, if any malicious IP or attacker IP you identified, so we have to block that IP address in which tool? Which tool we have to block? Which tool we
Firewall.
have to block?
Firewall.
Firewall under which tab? Which tab? Which tab? Tab name. Tab name, guys.
Rule name.
Policies tab.
Policies tab.
Policies.
Policies tab. Yeah. Okay. Please remember this one, guys. So this is implementation level. Whatever just now we said, even though you will not work on this one, you will raise separate ticket to firewall team. In SIM tool, you will go and you will do the investigation, but you will raise a separate ticket to firewall team to block the IP address. But you should be aware of how to block IP address also in the firewall level. So this is the way how to block. So now go on, let's go and discuss about couple of other scenarios also. So third one. So for all the employees, we have to enable social networking websites. For all the employees, we have to enable social networking websites. So under social networking website category, what are the different types of application will fall under? Under social networking website category of the application, what are different applications will fall under? Social network websites, guys, daily you will
Facebook.
use, right?
Twitter,
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all these will fall under, okay, so social networking websites. Okay. So what is the rule name here? Allowing of,
Social network.
allowing of, yeah, social networking websites. SN means social networking.
Yes.
We are allowing to every employee, give keyword also, every employee we are allowing. So now source zone,
Untrust.
Trust zone.
trust zone, where the employees are sitting, man. If we are
Ah,
allowing to employees, trust zone, destination zone, where applications are available.
Untrust.
Untrust.
Source user,
Any.
Any user.
any. Okay, in this scenario, example, you want to allow only for CEO, CFO, CTO, CISO, board of directors, or maybe managers. Remaining all the employees we have to block. That means we have to enable only that particular IP addresses only. We have to gather the CEO IP address, CTO IP address, CFO IP address, CISO IP address. This is what will happen. Couple of times for higher management or board of directors or senior level executives will enable all these applications, but lower people will not enable. In that scenario, we have to put the list of the IP addresses, whatever in the laptop they are using, or maybe overall range of the IP addresses. Okay. Is it clear how to do filtering now? Only enabling only specific users. So we have to provide the specific user names here. So example, CEO name, CFO name, CTO name, or CISO name. So we have to enable for only those users. Remaining all other, it has to block. So that much filtering also we can do it. So now we are enabling for everybody. So destination user,
Any user.
any user. Basically, it's not applicable. Okay. Source IP,
Any.
any. Destination IP,
Any.
any, because we don't know what is Facebook IP, what is LinkedIn IP, and port number
443.
443.
443. Protocols,
HTTPS.
HTTPS.
HTTPS. Application category,
Social network.
Social networking.
social networking category. Yeah. So directly we can select the category itself. We have that much granularity also there. Okay, that much in depth also there. There is no need to go and select one by one like a Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and so on. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second, please. Sorry, guys. Apologies, guys. Yeah. Security profile.
All policies.
So security profiles, whether we have to enable or not.
Enable.
Enable, sir.
Yes, all the policies we have to enable. So malware will come, maybe. So OS top 10 category of the attacks will come. So maybe phishing email come, maybe phishing email, maybe it will not come. Spoofing is possible, tampering is possible, flooding is possible. Everything is better to enable all. So that means, so what are security profiles we are configuring? So it's better to enable all these. Okay. So now action. What is action?
Allowing.
Hello.
Yellow. So log I'm not putting. So now what I will do, we'll block, okay, one more application that is called LinkedIn. We'll block one more application is called LinkedIn. or maybe YouTube. Forget about, okay, LinkedIn. You can block either Facebook or YouTube. So fourth
YouTube.
one, blocking of
YouTube.
YouTube. Why? Because it's consuming a lot of bandwidth, right? Every employee is they are opening YouTube. It will consume a lot of bandwidth utilization. Finally, employee can't work. So that is the reason we are blocking YouTube. So what is source zone for every employee? Once again,
Trust
Trust
zone.
source
zone.
zone,
Trust.
trust zone, destination,
Untrust.
untrust, source user,
Any.
yeah, destination,
Any.
okay, source IP,
Any.
Any.
destination IP,
Any.
okay, port number,
443.
443.
protocol,
HTTPS.
application,
YouTube.com.
YouTube.com.
yeah, YouTube. So drop down list only this one, automatically it will come YouTube if you are selecting youtube.com, you are right. Security profile,
Not applicable.
Not applicable.
not applicable. Action,
Block.
Block.
yeah. So now I have one question, guys. Logically, you can think. So now if end user is trying to access youtube.com, whether employees are able to access youtube.com or not. I'm repeating once again. So based on, okay, so all these there are 4 policies are configured. There are 4 policies are configured. So last rule is implicitly deny, obviously. So now employee, if they are trying to access youtube.com, whether employee are able to access youtube.com or not. If yes, what is the reason? If no, what is the reason?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. What is the reason? What is the reason?
Reason already we block the firewall.
Most
Okay.
of the info
Allowing
that we
social
Action,
network
action
websites.
block, sir. Action block.
So how many people are saying yes? Whether they are able to access or not. How many people are saying yes? So how many people are saying end users are able to access youtube.com? At least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or none. No one? Say at least yes or no. No one is saying, okay, we cannot access. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Action
sir.
block.
Okay. How many people are saying, okay, we cannot access youtube.com? Everyone, I think. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are wrong. Everyone is wrong now. Everyone is wrong now. Why? Because what did I say? Firewall policy validation. What did I say? Firewall policy validation. What the firewall policy validation?
Top to
What the
bottom.
firewall policy validation?
top to bottom approach.
Top to
Or,
Top to
bottom.
bottom or top down
Top to-
approach.
top down.
So whether youtube.com will fall under social networking website or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then condition is matching here itself. It will not, whether it will go and validate 4th rule. Where condition is meeting, criteria is meeting. Meeting. 3rd rule or 4th rule?
Third rule.
3rd rule itself it is meeting. Meeting. Then why it will go and validate 4th rule? Top down approach. Whenever any packet is meeting, there itself it will, okay, so stop. It will not go and validate other rules. Remaining 2 rules are that will not go and it will not validate other rules. So what did I say now? Whenever any end user trying to access youtube.com, whether they are able to access or not, that is my question. Now it will go on, it will validate the first rule. Obviously, first rule is not belongs to YouTube. Second rule, it is not belongs to YouTube. In the 3rd rule, whether YouTube is existing or not. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes. Whether meeting the condition or not.
Yes, Yes, sir. sir.
Yes, sir.
What the action for the 3rd one?
Allow.
Allowing social media.
Yeah. So that means YouTube they are able to access. But what you people said, they are not able to access. So now
Yes, sir.
what I will do? I will do ulta, opposite.
We
So
have
this
to
one
take
I'll put as a
top.
third role.
Yeah.
This one I'll put as a fourth role. Now you can tell me whether YouTube is able to access by employees or not.
No, sir.
No, sir.
What is the reason?
Because of already
Blocking
third
of
rule,
From
third
top.
rule already
Third
Top
row.
down approach.
YouTube.
Exactly, that's correct. Now you got it right. What do you mean top to bottom and top down approach?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is called top to bottom or top down approach, guys. This is practical. This is the way how to think logically. Every topic, whatever we are discussing. Then there is no need to by heart anything. There is no need to mug up anything. Okay. So by default, last rule is implicitly deny. Okay. So why I'm giving this much in depth? In one of the person is selected for so and so company. I don't want to say their name. So they offer 12 lakhs package for 4 years of experience. I'm repeating once again. One of the candidate for 4+ years of experience. So they give an offer as a 12 lakhs package. So, but unfortunately, he's performing well. They will not get any suspicious thing. But he's not doing well. He's not able to speak in English communication, and he's very much fear and also afraid in front of speaking and meeting and so on. So they got some doubt on him. So they said, okay, come to office. So he went to office. So in the resume, he mentioned Fortinet firewall. Then what happened? So they are also in the organization, they are also using Fortinet firewall, whatever company he is selected. So then they said, can you block one of the IP address in the Fortinet firewall? Whatever you like. Can you block one of the IP? So first of all, they asked which firewall you are using in our previous organization. So as per resume, practical it is their Fortinet firewall. Okay, in my organization also we are using Fortinet firewall. Can you go and block IP address in the Fortinet firewall? Practically they are testing whether this guy is a fake or genuine or real. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in that scenario, you have to able to, okay, so perform in front of everybody. Perform in front of everybody. So if you know about all these things, yes, you are able to. Then you will go to FortiGate firewall. So then you will click add button. Right, it's a demo tool. Unfortunately, we don't have any add button. So basically, add button will be there here. You have to click on add button here. So source zone, any IP address they are saying, block any IP address. Just you can put source name, destination name. Okay, so IP address, and just you can put action as a block. This is the way I can block the IP address. Okay, so this is what will happen practically whenever they'll get any suspicious thing on you, whether you want to fake or real. Okay, so to perform practically. So this is what normal people will do. Okay, so that is about anyway different story. So that's why after onboarding in a company, please dare and be courage, be bold and be strong. Okay, nothing will happen. So English communication is very, very important, guys. Very, very important. Okay. Actually, I thought to complete firewall topic today. Unfortunately, it will take another 2 classes. Okay, so that's all for today. We'll continue tomorrow. So I have to complete VPN. I have to complete VPN itself. It will take so much time, and firewall upgrade it will take another 15 minutes. Firewall high availability it will take 10 minutes. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow it will take firewall topic. It's okay, no problem. So first you have to understand and you have to learn. Forget about how many days I'm teaching. Okay. So please go and practice this tool whenever you'll get a free time. So then I will show practically once these theoretical part is completed. Okay. So whenever you are reading also this firewall topic or EDR tool or SIM tool and so on, always keep my study material beside you. Then open the tool and just you can compare all the theoretical with the practical. Understood, right? So theoretical notes you can keep beside you and open the tools and compare with the theoretical with the practical. Then you no need to by heart anything. Okay. So that's all for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Firewall upgrade, high availability. So VPN, site to site VPN, remote VPN, some other pending topics. Do you have any queries, guys?
No, sir.
Any questions? Okay, thank you so much and good night. See you tomorrow. Nobody will say bye. Okay, that's fine.
Bye, sir. Good night.